Hey guys, YouTube 100 here. Okay, and I've been having like another sort of like a technical issue with this. I've tried to make this review a couple of times. I filmed it a couple of times, but yeah, for some reason, my normal video recording program is not downloading this review. So yeah, so I'm just filming this with my my normal camera app on my Chromebook. So yeah, so I'm not sure if this is gonna the video resolution or the audio is gonna be picking up differently on this video. But yeah, I'm using a different program than what I usually use to record my videos. Yeah. But yeah, here I am now continuing on with these ECW pay-per-view reviews. And now next up, this is going to be a review for ECW Anarchy Rulz 1999. So, yeah. So, overall, yeah, this really was a pretty great pay-per-view. yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I really did enjoy this pay-per-view a lot. This really was a really great show. Yeah, this is really up there with Barely Legal 97 and Heatwave 98. Yeah, so yeah, this is probably among the top 3 best ECW pay-per-views of all time. Yeah, and it looks like ECW really has done what I was hoping they were gonna do. Yeah, they really have stepped things up. And yeah, the pay-per-views for 1999 now, yeah, they really have been pretty good for the most part. Yeah, the only one that really wasn't that great was the last one that I talked about, Heatwave 99. But yeah, all the other ones have overall been pretty good. Yeah, and then this one was a pretty great show. So yeah, so it looks like ECW really has stepped it up. And yeah, and 1999 has turned out to really be their best year for pay-per-views. Yeah, and this really, yeah, and it really did show here. Yeah. I think it really has shown now how ECW really seemed to be the best promotion of the three in 1999, because yeah, I've talked before about how in 1999 both WWF and WCW really were not very good at all, especially WCW. Yeah, but yeah, ECW really has done a pretty good job here. Yeah, and yeah, they really did go all out with this pay-per-view. It was pretty great. You had a great opener, you had a great ECW World Title match, and you had some other pretty good matches on the show as well. Yeah, so yeah, I find it really hard to really say this is not among some of the best ECW pay-per-views. Yeah, they really did do a great job with this show, and yeah, it really was a pretty great pay-per-view. So yeah, so I just really don't know how else to really put it. Yeah, they really did go all out, and yeah, this really is a great show worth tracking down if you haven't seen it before. So yeah, so yeah. So yeah, that really is the best way I can put it. If you really are trying to find a good ECW show to watch, especially with the trend of the not so great ones they've had that I've talked about so far. If you really are looking for one to check out, yeah, this is definitely one that is worth watching. It really is a really great show. Yeah, so that's really the best way I can put it. All right, so yeah, so let me just start talking about the show. All right. So the first match of the night was Lance Storm versus Jerry Lynn. And yeah, this really was a pretty great match right here. Yeah, this really was a real awesome match. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, this is really an example of how, despite the fact that ECW really is well known for the hardcore violence, yeah, they really did have a technical wrestling side to them as well. And this match really does show that. This really was a really great technical match. It really did go back and forth between both guys. They really did work very well together. Yeah, just had some great back and forth action between the two. A lot of high flying moves, some counters, a lot of near falls. So yeah, it really was a pretty great match between both guys. Right, yeah, like I said, there was a lot of counters in the match, and yeah, and both guys really did really well in the match. There were a lot of times where you would think that it was gonna end, but it didn't. Yeah, and then then it ended when Lance Storm then gave a shot to Jerry Lynn's injured ribs and then rolled him up for an inside cradle and got the win. So yeah, so Lance Storm ended up winning the match. So yeah, this really was a really great match. And yeah, like I said, it shows that ECW really did have another side to them other than just the hardcore violence. So yeah, so great match right there, and yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. This is definitely worth watching. Yeah, I talked before about how Jerry Lynn and RVD's matches really were some of ECW's best matches, and yeah, and this is another great one. It's not as great as the RVD Jerry Lynn matches, but still a great match. So yeah, you should definitely check this match out. So yeah, great match right there. I give that 4.25. Yeah. Then next up, then we just like had some filler on the show. So after this, then you had Simon Diamond coming out and just like cutting a promo. Then he was like brought up Tom Marquez, who was like the newest graduate of the House of Hardcore. But then Jazz came out, and then as like Simon Diamond and Jazz were like exchanging words with each other. Then eventually, Tom Marquez then got in the ring, and then we had like a match between Tom Marquez and Jazz. And this match only lasted like a minute, like nothing happened, and then like Jazz then just hit Tom Marquez with a Jazz Stinger and pinned him. So Jazz got the win in less than a minute. So why was this even made into a match? Like, what was the point of this? So I'm not really gonna rate that because it only lasted a minute. Then immediately after Jazz won, then Simon Diamond and Tony DeVito then started to attack Jazz. But then Chris Chetti and Nova then came out and made the save. Then this like led to a tag team match between Chris Chetti and Nova against Simon Diamond and Tony DeVito. And this match only lasted like 4 minutes. It's not really anything happened. It was just kind of like the guys like just fighting for 4 minutes. But then Danny Doring and Roadkill came out and attacked all 4 guys, and then the match then just like was called. Then during the attack from Danny Doring and Roadkill, other guys then tried to come in to stop it. Then a brawl occurred, but then New Jack then came out and just attacked everyone with weapons. So like, what was really the point of even having this match? Like, there was really no point in this. Like, it just seemed like total filler, and just like the Jazz Tom Marquez match. Like, why are you having these matches on the show? Like, it's just a waste of time. Like, you couldn't have just like scrap this and make time for like another match on the show. So but that match just was nothing. Like I said, it was just like brawling for 4 minutes. So I give that 1 star. And then next up, then we had a 3-way dance. It was Little Guido versus Yoshihiro Tajiri versus Super Crazy. And this really was like a really good to great match. Like, all 3 of these guys looked really good in this match. Like, this was, all 3 guys like got in like a lot of offense in the match, and they really did look really awesome in this match. Actually, you had like some high flying moves, and it was just back and forth between all 3 guys. Like, there was this one point where like Little Guido and Tajiri were like fighting in the crowd, and then Super Crazy then did like a moonsault from the ropes over the barricade onto Tajiri and Little Guido into the crowd. Then there was like a Big Sal then tried to get involved in the match at points, but eventually he got taken out. There was this awesome spot where like both Little Guido and Super Crazy had Tajiri in like a double submission, but Tajiri was managed to hold on. And then and like I said, it did like just go back and forth between like all 3 guys, and then eventually Little Guido got eliminated as he was hanging from upside down from the turnbuckle. Tajiri then hit a baseball slide into Little Guido, and then Super Crazy then hit a moonsault on Little Guido and then eliminated him. Then when it was down to Tajiri and Super Crazy, it once again did go back and forth. These guys looked really awesome here. Super Crazy at one point hit a sit-down powerbomb on Tajiri, but Tajiri survived it. Both guys hit like swinging DDTs on each other. It really was just like a really nice fast-paced match. Then as Little Guido like hit a few moonsaults on Tajiri, eventually Tajiri got his knees up for like the 3rd one, and then Tajiri hit a swinging kick to Super Crazy's head, and then hit a brain buster on Super Crazy, and Tajiri was able to pin Super Crazy, so Tajiri ended up winning the match. So this really was like a really good to great match, like very fast paced, and all 3 guys looked really awesome in this match. So I give that match 3 3/4. And then next up, then we had Just Incredible versus Sabu. And overall, this match was good. It wasn't great. Yeah, I personally don't think that the two guys' different styles really clashed well enough for them to really have a great match. But it was still like a pretty good match. Yeah, it went back and forth between the two. There was like a lot of weapon use in the match. Like Just Incredible got busted open early on in the match. Yeah, and then there was this one point where Just Incredible splashed Sabu through a table. Yeah. Yeah, and throughout the match, like Sabu, of course, was using like a lot of his like high flying moves off the ropes in the match. Yeah, you had Jason, of course, at ringside with Just Incredible, and Bill Alfonso at ringside with Sabu, and they were getting involved at points in the match. Yeah, and then it just like went back and forth between them. Eventually, like at one point, Sabu drove Just Incredible through a table that was like laying between the ring and the guardrail. Well, yeah. Then at one point, Just Incredible then as there was a table in a corner of the ring, Sabu got driven through the table by Just Incredible, or it looked like Just Incredible may have actually just gone through it on his own. Yeah. Yeah. Then at one point, as it looked like Sabu may have actually had the match won, then Jason came in and nailed Sabu with a kendo stick, and then Bill Alfonso then came in and got rid of Jason, but for some reason he didn't actually try to even things back up for Sabu and attack Just Incredible. Then Just Incredible hit a couple of That's Incredibles on Sabu, including one onto a chair, and then Just Incredible was able to pin Sabu, and Just Incredible got the win. So that overall, like I said, it was a good match, but not a great match. Then their two different styles just really didn't clash well enough together for it to really be a great match, but it was still overall good. So I guess I would give that probably 3 1/4. Yeah. Then next up, after this, we had the ECW World Championship on the line. It was originally supposed to be Taz defending against Masato Tanaka. Yeah, but then, as the two guys were in the ring, then Mike Awesome then came, through the crowd, and then Taz said that he wanted to defend against Mike Awesome, so this match turned into a 3-way dance for the ECW World title, and this really was, a pretty great match as well. It wasn't as great as Lane Storm versus Jerry Lynn, but it was still a pretty great match, Surprisingly, Taz got eliminated in only, the first 2 minutes of the match. It started off with, Taz fighting both, Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome, but then Mike Awesome and Masato Tanaka then beat down Taz and hit their finishers on Taz, and they both pinned him together to eliminate Taz. So that was quite a shock to see the champion get eliminated in only the first couple of minutes, and we were guaranteed to have a new ECW champion. Then when it was down to Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome, it went back and forth, and they did work so great together. It just went back and forth, they hit their big moves in with each other. And it really did just go back and forth between both guys, and you just really didn't know who was really gonna win. And there was some high flying moves in the match. Mike Awesome hit a few awesome bombs on Masato Tanaka in the match. Then at one point in the match, Masato Tanaka charged down the rampway as Mike Awesome was up against the ropes and drove a chair right into Mike Awesome's head. Then at one point Masato Tanaka hit a swinging DDT on Mike Awesome on the ramp. Then there was this cool spot where Mike Awesome delivered an awesome bomb to Masato Tanaka from inside the ring down to the floor through a table. There was this one point where Masato Tanaka had a chair on top of Mike Awesome, and then Masato Tanaka dove from the turnbuckle with another chair, and the chairs clashed together into Mike Awesome. It really did just go back and forth, and at one point Mike Awesome hit a splash on Masato Tanaka, but Masato Tanaka survived it. Then the guys were just continuing to hit their big moves on each other, and it had a pretty awesome ending with Mike Awesome hitting an awesome bomb to Masato Tanaka from the top turnbuckle down to the canvas through another table, and then Mike Awesome was able to pin Masato Tanaka, and Mike Awesome won the ECW World title. So that really was just such an awesome match. Like I said, not as good as Lane Storm and Jerry Lynn, but still, it was a pretty great match, and some nice moments, especially with the awesome bombs to Mike Awesome, and even Masato Tanaka did some great stuff in this match as well. And plus, Mike Awesome winning the ECW title was a pretty nice moment, and a nice post-match segment with Taz handing the belt over to Mike Awesome. So yeah, so overall, yeah, that was a pretty great match. So I would give that probably 4 stars. Then after this, then we had the ECW Tag Team titles on the line. It was Tommy Dreamer and Raven defending against Rhino and Steve Corino. And yeah, and this match really was nothing special. This match only lasted like 3 minutes. So yeah, so it was pretty much the same thing as the other tag match. Yeah, it started off with just a Tommy Dreamer fighting both Rhino and Steve Corino. Yeah, Raven didn't actually join the match at first. Yeah, but then eventually Raven did come out and join the match. Yeah, and it was really just both the 4 guys fighting with each other. There was this one point where Francine, who was at ringside with Tommy Dreamer, of course, like tried to get involved, and then Rhino took her out. Yeah, then Rhino got taken out. Yeah, then Tommy Dreamer and Raven hit DDTs on both Steve Corino and Jack Victory, who was at ringside with Steve Corino and Rhino. Now then, yeah, Raven and Tommy Dreamer pinned Jack Victory and Steve Corino to retain the titles. Yeah, so I don't really know like why they pinned Jack Victory, because he was an actual participant in the match. So yeah. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, that match was only like 3 minutes. It really was not anything that good. So yeah, I'd give that like a 1.5 stars. Yeah. And then we got the main event. It was originally supposed to be RVD defending the ECW television title against Johnny Smith, but yeah, before the match, Axel Ron came out and like was issuing a challenge to Mike Awesome for the ECW World title. But then the Impact players and Johnny Smith came out and started to attack Axel Ron. But then Balls Mahoney and Spike Dudley came out and made the save. And then at one point, Balls Mahoney then nailed Johnny Smith with a chair, taking him out. So with Johnny Smith being unable to compete, Balls Mahoney then took his place, and so then yeah, the match ended up being RVD versus Balls Mahoney for the ECW television title. Yeah, and this overall was a really good match too. Yeah, this really did like this match. Like it really was like a really nice back and forth match. Yeah, it was kind of like a slower paced match for RVD than it usually was, but that's really not a bad thing because it made for some better storytelling. Yeah, and Balls Mahoney also did pretty good in this match as well. Like Balls Mahoney wasn't known for having particularly good matches, but yeah, he actually was like pretty good in this match. Yeah, and this really was a nice back and forth match between the two guys. Like it really did go back and forth between both guys. Like and there were some nice spots in the match. There was this one point where RVD tried to kick a chair into Balls Mahoney's face, but Balls Mahoney threw the chair back and hit RVD in the head. Yeah, then there was this one point where Balls Mahoney was in the crowd, and then RVD dove from the turnbuckle down into the crowd to Balls Mahoney. Yeah, and it just did go back and forth between both guys. At one point, Balls Mahoney actually did hit a 5-star frog splash on RVD, but RVD survived it. Yeah, then RVD then at one point hit a pretty big superplex on Balls Mahoney. Yeah, then eventually when it looked like Balls Mahoney actually he probably had the match won, Bill Alfonso came in the ring and saved the match for RVD. So I'm not really sure why Bill Alfonso made the save here, but he didn't for Sabu earlier on. Yeah, and then as Balls Mahoney was distracted with Bill Alfonso, RVD eventually kicked the chair back into Balls Mahoney's face and hit a 5-star frog splash and pinned him. So yeah, so RVD retained the ECW TV title. So yeah, so that was a pretty good match right there. Not as good as some the other matches the ECW title match and of course Lane Storm and Jerry Lynn, but yeah, still overall a pretty good match and a nice way to end the pay-per-view. Yeah, so I guess I would probably give that match 3.5 stars. Yeah, so overall with the show, I guess I would probably give it a 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, it really was a pretty great show. Like I said, Lance Storm vs. Jerry Lynn was great. The ECW World title match was great, and even stuff like the 3-way dance with Little Guido, Tajiri, and Super Crazy, and the main event were also pretty good matches as well. So yeah, so I find it really hard to say that this show really wasn't great. Really did enjoy this a lot, and with what is good on the show really is good. Of course it does have some of the bad stuff, the filler with the second and third match and the tag title match. Yeah, so that stuff really is not really that good at all, but yeah, what is good is really good, and it really does overshadow the bad stuff on the show. So yeah, so I definitely do say that this is a great show, and yeah, like I said, it is probably in the top 3 ECW pay-per-views of all time. Like I said, it's up with Barely Legal 97 and Heatwave 98. So yeah, so definitely a pretty great show, and I do think that it is definitely worth checking out, especially the Lance Storm Jerry Lynn match. Definitely check that match out, and also the ECW World title match is definitely worth watching as well. So yeah, so yeah, so like I said, I do think that 1999 is the year for ECW pay-per-views. They've all been overall pretty solid, except for like the last one that I talked about, like I said, with Heatwave 99. But yeah, all the others are still like really have been really solid, and yeah, and this is a great one. Like I said, I'm noticing that ECW is putting out a great pay-per-view each year. So yeah, so hopefully that will be the case with the 2000 pay-per-views, as I'm gonna go now jump into those up next. Yeah. But yeah, this is still overall a great pay-per-view and worth checking out. So yeah, so I guess that's the best way I can put it. Alright, so yeah, so I guess that's all I really have to say about it. Alright, so yeah, so this is my review of ECW Anarchy Rulz 1999. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review, yeah, and hopefully this trend of like ECW still being on the right track with good pay-per-views will continue going forward. Alright, but yeah, but I hope you guys did enjoy this review, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.